What did you think was the motive for Marvin Brown's murder?
Hate, love, or money is your three reasons to kill someone, sometimes all three.
So at that point, were you convinced they had hired a hitman?
They used his own gun to shoot him. I was disgusted. It's really disgusting to think that just over money you're gonna kill somebody.
Did you think you could get a confession?
You never know what's going to happen. Someone might look at you and say, I'm not talking.
I just wanted revenge for what they did. I wanted him behind bars.
Hi, I'm Nancy O'Dell. Today's Crime Exposé takes us to the village of Powhatan Point, nestled along the Ohio River. This tight-knit community was rocked to its core when their former mayor was gunned down execution-style in his own hunting cabin. The shocking crime would take investigators down a dark and twisted path that would lead them to the ultimate betrayal. It was a brisk fall evening on November the 18th when one of Marvin Brown's friends went to join him for dinner and discovered his lifeless body lying on the floor. So in what part of the house did you find Marvin Brown?
In the hallway of his hunting cabin, shot in the back.
The officers at the scene were stunned. The former mayor had been a beloved member of the community. Detectives knew they would be under intense pressure to solve the case and examine the cabin for clues.
Marvin, when he was shot, was carrying meat, frozen meat. The bag was laying next to his body.
Marvin had owned and operated an extremely successful contracting business, and detectives theorized his murder had been the result of a robbery gone bad.
There were no signs of any type of break-in. There didn't appear to be anything of high value missing. Marvin had money in his pocket.
Investigators quickly discovered a crucial piece of evidence.
We found a shell casing behind the body, right around where we would assume the shooter would have took the shot. 9mm, and that tells us that either Marvin knew the person that shot him or that he was ambushed.
Detectives had the grim task of notifying Marvin's wife, his stepdaughter, and 3 grown sons.
The most shocking thing, I think, was when we went into the cabin and you could see the bullet mark in the wall, and that's when it kind of hit me. If he would have had a heart attack or a stroke, I mean, there still would have been grief there, but when he gets murdered, it adds anger to it because it didn't need to happen.
Marvin had lived his entire life in the community and was known to be a force of nature.
He was a tough man. He worked in a steel mill for 28 years. The steel mill closed down, so he had to do something else, so he opened up a construction business. Successful with that. He was just like a leader type of guy. He always wanted to be, out front leading the charge. He was the town tough guy, but he had a huge heart.
Underneath Marvin's rough exterior was his generous spirit.
He was a very giving person. He'd give the shirt off his back to people, and anytime somebody in town needed help, he was there.
Marvin's family struggled to comprehend their loss.
My big thing was why. Who had a reason to do it? Number one, if you knew my dad, you were taking a chance because if that gun would have jammed, he'd have been in big trouble. I mean, he was 73, but he was strong as a bull. It's just, why? At the funeral, I made my dad a promise that we're going to find out who did this.
Detectives refused to rest until they found justice for Marvin's murder.
Who were his enemies? Who would want to hurt Marvin? Who would benefit from his death?
Law enforcement was under intense pressure to solve Marvin Brown's murder. The prominent businessman and former mayor had been gunned down in his own home.
Marvin was shot in the back from very close range.
News of the cold-blooded crime spread like rapid fire throughout the close-knit village.
It was just hard to believe because that kind of stuff doesn't happen in my hometown. 1,200 people, just a small coal mining town, and salty the earth people. You know, they were in shock. And because everybody knows everybody up there, there was rumors flying here and there.
Based on the remote location of his home, detectives were convinced it had been a targeted attack.
Marvin lived off of kind of a long driveway, very private. On down the driveway a little ways was the hunting cabin.
Detectives assembled a timeline of Marvin's last known steps and quickly learned he had spent most of the day running errands.
As far as we could tell, Marvin went to St. Clairsville for an appointment. Marvin returned to Powhatan, went to a hardware store. He talked to someone about borrowing a trailer, got something to eat. Then he returned to the hunting cabin somewhere around 1:30, 2:30, around there.
Detectives concluded Marvin had been killed sometime between 2:30 and 5 o'clock that afternoon. They spoke with Marvin's devastated wife, Deborah, and stepdaughter, Meredith, who had been out buying furniture.
They were at Balanceville, West Virginia, about 20 minutes away, shopping.
It was Marvin's wife, Deborah, who gave police their first lead. She said her husband's hunting cabin had been broken into once before, and it happened just days before his murder.
Someone had entered his cabin and took a crossbow.
Marvin had been furious that his personal property had been stolen, and he quickly located the perpetrator.
Once he found out that the guy had stolen his crossbow, he wasn't very happy about that. And when Dad got upset, he wasn't going to call the police to go recover his crossbow. He went and did it himself.
Marvin got into a physical altercation in person.
Since detectives knew this person had broken into Marvin's hunting cabin once before, they wondered if he had returned for revenge.
They thought maybe the guy was getting back at him for physically getting his crossbow back.
But the investigation revealed the man had an ironclad alibi.
They cleared the guy. He was at work during the time of the murder, so he was kind of eliminated pretty fast.
Marvin's wife, Deborah, had been the bookkeeper for Marvin's business and knew his colleagues well.
Marvin owned a construction company that worked for a local coal mine. It wasn't a large operation, but it was pretty successful. I didn't have a lot of employees.
So did Deborah know if Marvin may have had any issues with, say, his business associates?
There was some bad blood. He could be a hard man. He did have some enemies. He didn't suffer fools at all. He wouldn't tolerate any disrespect.
But interviews with Marvin's co-workers and employees failed to produce a lead. The tips kept flooding in.
You get a case like this, you got to take anybody that could possibly be any type of enemy and look at them as a potential suspect. Every little lead that we got, or every little tip that came in, we spent a lot of time running those down. It was a very frustrating case.
The investigation was hitting a disappointing standstill.
We didn't know what was going on.
Marvin's family offered a $50,000 reward for any information about the crime.
The worst part's the family. They look to you to bring their loved one justice. You got to tell them we'll work on them, doing everything we can.
The answer to one critical question continued to elude them.
Who benefits? Hate, love, or money is your three reasons to kill someone, sometimes all three.
Detectives investigating Marvin Brown's murder were concerned their case was about to hit a brick wall. But when they spoke with Marvin's accountant, the details he provided about Marvin's wife, Deborah, broke the case wide open.
The accountant was getting ready to tell Marvin some things that Deborah didn't want him to hear, as far as some of the money that she had taken out that Marvin wasn't aware of.
Through court orders and search warrants, detectives discovered Deborah had been falsifying Marvin's bank records.
Well, at that point, we're starting to look at Deborah pretty hard. Appeared that she had been embezzling money out of the company.
And there was more.
When we got into the finances, started seeing a lot of cash withdrawals out of the company account at ATMs, several a day, thousands and thousands of dollars a month. We thought that was pretty unusual. We learned that Deborah hadn't paid the taxes in several years.
Then a tip came in from a woman who said shortly before the murder, Deborah and Marvin's stepdaughter, Meredith, had asked her to pretend to be Marvin's secretary and cancel a meeting that Marvin had with his accountant. The tipster said Deborah and Meredith didn't want Marvin to learn they had been withdrawing huge sums of money from his accounts.
Now, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars here they spent on drugs and gambling.
Starting to learn about the money and Marvin not knowing about how bad it was, and just some odd behaviors from Deb and Meredith. We started to believe that they were shaping up to be primary suspects in Marvin's death.
Detectives found evidence Deborah had been stealing money from Marvin's business accounts.
Anywhere from $150,000 to $300,000 that we can estimate throughout the years. I believe that she felt that as soon as Marvin realized what she had done, that he would divorce her and cut off her money supply. I believe that Meredith assisted her because she was also on the teat, so to speak, as far as sucking blood money out of Marvin.
However, Deborah and Meredith both had strong alibis and continued to deny any involvement in the crime.
Do you think I'm that stupid? Really? You know, oh my God, I don't believe this is happening. I really don't. I honestly don't.
We're going to get the ball, let's get to the truth of this and put it to rest eventually. It's just going to happen.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is news to me.
Be right back. Just next door.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
But investigators heard a rumor that a career criminal named Stephen Moore had been hired to pull the trigger. So at that point, were you convinced they had hired a hitman?
It made the most sense that Meredith and Deborah worked together. They made sure they were off site when the murder occurred, and that they either manipulated or outright hired someone.
Detective Aller brought Stephen Moore in for an interrogation. When you brought him in, did you think you could get a confession?
You never know what's going to happen. Someone might look at you and say, I'm not talking.
And what I want to talk to you about is the death of Marvin Brown. I think you pulled that trigger. And you know why I think that? Because I see it in your eyes. You pulled that trigger.
I didn't.
You have remorse in your eyes.
Stephen Moore continued to deny any involvement in the homicide.
It's not my job to arrest people. It's my job to find the truth. Okay? That's my job. I'm telling you, in my heart, in my mind, when it's all said and done with, I think I'm going to prove you're the one that fired that shot.
No.
Detective Aller turned up the pressure.
I knew you killed Marvin. I want you to tell me the truth.
As Detective Aller pressed on, it became clear that Moore was ready to talk. He explained that Deborah and Meredith had been worried about Marvin's appointment with his accountant.
Marvin noticed that there was something, and he had an appointment with the accountant, and there was money that wasn't there or something, and he found out about it, and he was supposed to, I don't know. That's why she wanted somebody to cancel the appointment. Reschedule it.
Reschedule? Why did she want to reschedule it? Did she tell you?
To give them more time to get what they wanted to do.
Which was what?
Well, I guess having taken care of.
He said that he was paid $12,000 by Deborah and Meredith to kill Marvin to cover up Deborah's financial crimes.
Their mom would pay somebody if they could get rid of this. And
Get rid of what?
him.
Kill him?
Yeah.
Detective Aller asked for details about the murder weapon that only the killer would have known.
I know you had a weapon. What kind of weapon did you have?
I think it was a high point.
A high
9mm.
That game show, final answer, dial friend. You just dial me. Guess what was missing from Marvin Brown's gun safe? Take a guess. Guess what? Guess what? There was a box for, but no gun. What kind of gun was it? Take a wild guess. It was a high .9 millimeter, Stephen.
How did they get the gun? Out of a safe. When only my dad and his wife knew the combination.
So who gave you that gun? Who shot Marvin Brown?
Me.
Stephen Moore was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. It was then he revealed the sinister details of the crime.
I broke into the cabin,
How'd you break in?
just through the door
How?
with a card.
How'd you know Marvin was coming?
Meredith told us she wasn't going to be
Where'd you hide?
beside the bed.
What happened next?
After Marvin got there,
Yeah.
he went to the freezer and he went out in the hall and I shot him
Okay. How many times?
once.
He didn't share the slightest shred of remorse. I didn't care.
After his confession, the 39-year-old pled guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison plus 17 years. But Deborah and Meredith still maintain their innocence in Marvin's murder.
No, I was disgusted. Really disgusting to think that just over money gonna kill somebody. Dad was a smart guy. I mean, he wasn't like some chump that didn't know what was going on. My thing was, how did they keep it from him?
Based on the financial evidence against her, Deborah Brown pled guilty to theft and tampering with evidence. After serving 3 years in prison, she was released and died of cancer a few months later. Her daughter Meredith was convicted for obstruction of justice and was sentenced to 2 years of home confinement. Deborah and Meredith have maintained their innocence in hiring Stephen Moore to commit the crime. And now, it's time for today's Safety Spotlight. Financial abuse occurs in 99% of domestic violence cases. In the case of Marvin Brown, police say he was being financially abused by his wife Deborah, who was embezzling money from the family business. If you suspect you are being financially abused, meet with a lawyer and financial planner who can give you resources and help. Freeze your credit by contacting the credit agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian to prevent further financial abuse. And if you are experiencing domestic abuse, please seek assistance and call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. I'm Nancy O'Dell. For everyone here at Crime Exposé, please join us next time and stay safe.